Hi, I'm Desmond Anderson. Welcome to Eternal Life Center for Spiritual Advancement. On behalf of Reverend Marion and Reverend Emmanuel, we welcome you. Join us on this journey that brings you closer to wholesomeness, joy, and peace. And once again, we welcome you and we're glad that you're able to join us this Sunday. Join us as we read our announcements. Our theme of the month is trials, transitions, and transformations. It's all God. Our purpose statement. Our purpose is to create a welcoming and inclusive safe space to honor our connection with the divine through consistent spiritual practices, manifesting personal and communal growth. We are committed to fostering a harmonious relationship with all of creation, grounded in our belief that the divine is present in every aspect of life and visible in the teachings of ancient, modern teachers, and ascended masters. Through our dedication of prayer, meditation, and spiritual gift development and integration, we accept healing, mindfulness, and the embodiment of goodness in all we do as we are in service with God. Repeat after me as we read our affirmation. In every trial and transition,
In every trial and transition,
I rest in the grace and guidance
I rest in the grace and guidance
that is only available with God.
that is only available with God.
Each step forward unfolds more of my higher self.
Each step forward embodies more of my higher self.
I stand in awe of God's designs at work in my life.
I stand in awe of God's next in our life.
All transitions, all is well.
In all transitions, all is well.
Knowing that all transitions, trials, and triumphs are woven into my sacred journey of the divine grace.
And knowing that all trials and tribulations are a sacred journey of my life.
Prosperity, love, and ever unfolding of the presence of God in my life.
Prosperity, love, common good forgiveness in my life.
Let's go through our announcements and events. Join us every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Arizona time for meditation services and 9 a.m. for services. Become prayer and supports. Join us on a moment of spiritual reflection live on WhatsApp Thursday at 7 p.m. Arizona time, and check your time zones on the website eternallifeglobal.com. Ghana and South Africa, 3:30 p.m. for prayer meditation, 4 p.m. for sacred services, and South Africa times are listed on the screen. Visit our website at eternallifeglobal.com. Our today's speaker is Reverend Dr. Marion Nafua, Spiritual Director. If you have any prayer requests, please email them to eternallifeglobal@gmail.com. Donations can be made on paypal.me/choice not chance and Mountain Mobile Wallet at 2335380788888, and also on Zelle at 480-269-1038. Thank you for joining us today. Feel free to email us at eternallifeglobal@gmail.com. And we'll bring our Reverend Marion, and we will bring our Reverend
Great day, everybody. Great day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. God's greetings to you all. Indeed, it is a pleasure and an honor. Let me just back up a little bit. Indeed, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you on today, because today, like no other day, it is time for us to embrace more of the wholeness. So before we begin to get into the inspired word, let's take a moment and let's just center ourselves into the oneness of God by turning within for prayer. Why do we say turn within? Because God is already within you. God is not outside of you, sitting in the sky, waiting for you to make a mistake to throw down lightning bolts. But God is ever present. God is ever knowing. God is already moving on your behalf in your life and present right here and active in your life. So we are honored and we are delighted for this opportunity to be here on today. We want to turn within. As we turn within, as we turn within and we receive the breath of life in our life, we are grateful. We are honored in this moment to be able to have this very sacred time that we are sharing together in the wholeness and the oneness that is only found in God, as God. So we get into service for God, knowing that that which is filling us up, that which is overflowing, that which is opening up windows, pouring out blessings until each and every one of our lives, that we are now moving forward. We are engaging into the truth and the wholeness that is only found with God, as it is an ever active and ever presence in our lives. We are moving in the development and the wholeness and the truth of that experience, of that knowing that every part of our bodies, the cells, our DNA is reverberating with the power and presence of God in our lives, and that we can see the presence of God in all of God's creations, knowing that where we are right here, right now, God is healing. God is removing and restoring. God is building. God is magnifying all of the desires of your hearts, because it is because of God that we are able to do so. So we are grateful on today. We are thankful on today. And we are even more committed on today than ever before, because today we have realized that this pneuma, this breath, this life that is giving us life is God. And so we rest in this presence. We rest in this knowing. We excel forward throughout this next moments in this inspired word. And also we excel beyond this expired word in this moment to go forth every day forward, representing God to those who have forgotten what it's like to experience God. And so we are grateful and we are thankful. And we know that all of our prayers, those silent and those heard, are heard. We know we need not do any special tricks and turns, but yet God is present and God is hearing and God is already moving on our behalf. That the presence, the spirit is busy creating and constructing and deconstructing the thoughts and the minds that of separation, the thoughts and minds of pain, and the thoughts and minds of we are no longer the divine image and likeness of God. And so it is. Amen and shalom. Thank you all for being here on today. It is such a pleasure to be here on today. You know, I was preparing for services on today, and one of the things that I was thinking about was this whole conversation that we keep getting ourselves into, thinking that maybe, just maybe, this time is not enough. That maybe this time, I'm not ready. That maybe this time is not my time. And I want to address that today, because I want to remind you that it is your time, that you are enough. You have enough. This is the right place for you right here, right now, because our divine creator, God, creator of all that ever was, is, and shall be, is not someone that is going to allow you to be destroyed and distracted from the plans that have been given for your life. So often we are sitting here and we are engaging in conversations and we are watching so much, especially nowadays, which is why I say don't watch so much television, don't listen to too much terrestrial radio, unless it's something that can contribute into the alignment that we have with God. You are always more than enough, because with God, nothing is lacking, nothing is missing, nothing is hidden from you, nothing is withheld from you. All is available because we are functioning in a sacred place of the Most High God. It is a holy place. It is a holy ground, one that is plentiful, one that is profoundly producing moment by moment, nanosecond by nanosecond, able to abide beyond any storm, beyond any conversation, beyond any voice, any word that is spoken against you. But I'm here to caution you that sometimes I know that as human beings in this human form, although we are spiritual beings, sometimes this physical body begins to weigh us down, and our physical eyes begin to show us things, and our physical ears begin to let us hear things that distract us from that which is truly the essence, the plan, and the motion of God upon our lives. So when we are having our opportunities, when we are diving more into our truth, when we are diving more into our wholeness, we are negating the power that is us, that is God, that is the life force, that is the source, that is the divinity, that is the hope, that is the possibility, that is the prosperity, that is the healing, that is the love, that is the truth. We are denying it because this physicalness, this physical identity that we sometimes get distracted by. We get distracted by the physical appearance of ourselves. We get distracted by the physical appearance and acceptance or the lack thereof of others. We are accepting ourselves to get on to places that have nothing to do with our original assignment. We are ignoring the fact that who we are is perfectly and wonderfully made. We are denying the fact that we are already moving above and beyond anything that our hearts can begin to comprehend and our minds begin to understand. We are moving past this identity that we must wait for someone to place us into position when we already have been given the position to be there. You don't need to have the title to move into the wholeness, into the fullness, into the divinity, into the oneness of God. You don't need to move into the job in order to have yourself, to have the income and the resources that you desire, because God has already made you wonderfully abundant, not seeding or needing anything, that the plan is already laid before you that you shall prosper, that the plan is already laid before you that you shall have good health, that the plan is already laid before you that you are and you shall continue to have love. The plan is already laid before you that you will already have a sound mind. Your plan is already laid before you that you shall move exceedingly beyond all expectations. The plan is already laid before you that you shall increase your territory. So when we are going forward today, when we are honoring ourselves today in this sacred space and time, we are joining together in the presence of God. When we are coming here to unify, we do not want to taint it with the doubts, the worries, and the fears of what happened before we came inside this facility. We do not want to allow ourselves to debate with ourselves, to debate with the prayers, to debate with our knowings, to debate with the scriptures, to debate with the knowings of God that is moving in our life right here, right now. You are a living, breathing miracle. You are a living, breathing miracle. And when you begin to treat yourself as such, you will find that there is nothing that can be held apart from you. There is nothing that can be denied from you. There may be some moments of delay because just for a moment, we have some things we have to work on inside of ourselves to remind ourselves, to have a new renewance of our mind. We have to begin to take the time, which is why we meditate, which is why we pray. As it says in the scriptures, it says, meditate and pray daily. Not just when we're in trouble. It's not a break the glass in case of emergency. Prayer is not to be seen in that way. But I know that in this moment, we are going back. As I said when I began, you are more than enough. You do have enough. There is more coming. There is a reason for you to be here. This place where you are, the people in which you are engaging with may not be able to move forward with you. But right here, right now, God is reminding you that where I have done, my plans that I have for you shall come to rest. shall come forward. They shall stand strong. There is nothing that is defeated within you. You are a walking, living miracle. Now, I know in our humanness, in our stories, the world would have us to think that miracles are far and few in between. But I'm here to remind you that when you are walking and dealing in the presence of the Most High God, creator of all that ever was, is, and shall be, allowing it to work in you, as you, and around you, simultaneously embodying all of you, trusting, creating, developing, and allowing things to be, you need not worry about that, because miracles are happening moment by moment every day, because you're a miracle. I'm a miracle. Everyone around us is a miracle, but yet we have forgotten that. This is why when Yeshua was in the world, we began to understand that there were things that he could do that defied the odds of the human mind. It defiled the eyes of the human mind. Yes, that idea that you have. Yes, that vision that you have. That creation that is burning up and about to be birthed within you is waiting for a space and for a path. But how does that path get driven if you believe that you do not have the tools? You are fully equipped. If you manage the power, the strength that has been given to us. If you honor more of the truth that has been given to us, it's not about you. It's not about you. We ourselves, when we start saying, I can fix this, I need this, I need to be the one that handles this, it's because I'm a man, it's because I'm a woman that I should be. That in the moment you say you have just welcomed in ego. And we know that in our community, we know that in the communities, we have known that ego means to edge out God, to edge God out. So if we're going to edge out God, then we begin to notice that when we edge out God, there is nothingness. Because before God created, there was nothingness, a vast of nothingness. And then this something out of nothing, God began to create something and someone and these beings that we now call ourselves. And so therefore, it is not us. Although we are utilized as a tool, as a vessel, as a conduit for the presence and the spirit to come through us to begin to affect this physical world, it is not us that is doing the work. It is when we are in alignment that we are able to do the work. We are not able to do the work when we are sitting still and we are comparing ourselves to other people. We are not able to do the work when we believe that the experience that we have had is more powerful than the presence of God in our life. We cannot believe and be in that power, in that infinite wisdom, in that unconditional love, in that miracle state when we are comparing ourselves to other people, when we are denying ourselves the possibilities that are right before us, and begin to put that energy into that potential energy and make it go. The thing is, we have to begin to trust and believe that who we are and where we are going and what we are producing is exactly what should be done. But you have to believe that you are a miracle. You have to believe that the presence of God is always in your life. You have to believe that when in times of need, that you don't wait until it gets so burdened down that you reach out, but that you begin to know that in the slightest moment of the slightest doubt, of the slightest disposition, the simplest glance, that God is ever present in your life. God is always present in your life. That God is always moving. God is always producing in your life. God is always holding you steady, grounding you, producing you, honoring you, because you and God are one in alignment. But if you don't believe that the presence of God is your breath, when you don't believe that the presence of God is your heartbeat, when you're forgetting this and you begin to worry about who left you, who doesn't love you, who doesn't like the way that your light is shining. Listen, the scriptures tell us, do not put your lamp hide your light under a basket. So many of us, we are not having a basket, but we're hiding our lamp under our spouses. We're hiding our lamps under our parents. We're hiding our lamps under our employers. We're hiding the lamp under our spiritual leaders and religious leaders. We are doing that because we want to shrink. But the scriptures have told us already, we are not to hide our lamp, our light, because the presence is the lamp unto our feet. So don't play yourself small. Don't deny yourself. Don't believe the lies that they tell you when they tell you you are doing too much. No, I'm not doing too much. I am more than enough for this situation. I am more than enough for this opportunity. I am more than enough to begin to grow taller, stronger, wiser, better in my health, better in my mental mindset, to begin to elevate ourselves into a higher place of where we are. Absolutely, positively, so it is. We are holding on to the truth. We are building more of the God within our life because we understand to have the presence of God in our life means that we don't have to worry about anything at all. We don't have to worry about who's looking, who's not looking, who understands why you're wearing what you're wearing. We're not trying to worry about who's liking how you're talking. We're not worried about if you're using the proper terms at the possible knife and fork that is in our lives. Nobody cares about that. Nobody's worried about that. Nobody except for the nobody that is existing in the nothingness. Because God has transformed the nothingness into somethingness. And that is more powerful, more better, more important, more entertaining, more enlightening, more empowering, more truthful, more fulfilling than anything else that anybody can say in your life. Absolutely, positively, so it is. And so we are grateful on today that we are getting the revelation, the restoring that allows us to do. I believe it was our meditative thought for the week when they told us how we need to be ready and understand that every step that we are taking is indeed every step forward indeed is unfolding more of our higher selves, and that we understand the reason why it's revealing more of your higher self is because God's design, the plan is at work in your life, and that all things and all needs and all transitions, all trials, all triumphs even included, listen, triumphs. That's what you got to understand. They are already interwoven into your path. As I said before, you are more than enough. You have it all. This is a sacred journey that we are moving through that is filled with grace, that is filled with the infinite love, the infinite prosperity, the infinite truth, and it is ever unfolding always in our lives, but we must be willing to allow it, believe it, and trust it. We cannot allow people to pull us into conversations, to pull us back into degraded states of nothingness when you are already somethingness. That's just like having a full bottle of water, which you should be drinking more water, by the way, having a full bottle of water or a full glass of water, and someone comes and knocks it over. You cannot quench that thirst if the water is gone. But if you understand that you and the water are one, if you understand that this full glass of water belongs to you, you don't need anyone's permission in order to access it. You just need to know that it's yours and act accordingly. And when you act accordingly, you will find the fulfillment. You will find the truth. You will find the wholeness. You will find that there is more to life than just waiting for someone to accept who you are, because they, as I said before, because they are uncomfortable, because they need something. They don't know how you can be happy. Someone said to me, how come you're always happy? I said, because that's all there is happiness, joy, the fruits of the spirits, love, joy, peace, happiness, self-discipline, the continence of knowing and having the awareness that God is forever with us. But what happens? What happens? What happens in that moment? What happens in the truth? What happens when we begin to understand that when we take on the Christ consciousness, we take on the consciousness? That means the awareness, the activated awareness of what is happening around you. When you begin to understand that in this Christ consciousness, you are beginning to exemplify a life that is looking at the world as though it is illusions, because the world is an illusion. The Christ consciousness puts you into the divine mind of God, to hear the messages, to see the vision, to trust it and know that it is a part of you, not something that is left off to the side. But if you want to stay and allow yourself to go from somethingness to nothingness, this is not possible. It is not possible. You are too fulfilled. You are too perfectly made. You are too bound by the power and the presence of God. You are fulfilled already. It is time for you to get into action. It is time to get into action. Because when you get into action, then you will utilize more and more of the power, more and more of the strength, more and more of the wholeness, more and more of the visions, the revelations, the truth, the healing, the prosperity, the abundance, the wealth. Let me tell you something. If you are seeking for a financial breakthrough and you say, I want a financial breakthrough, the breakthrough is just the first step. Once you break through the barrier of your mind, the barrier of your understanding, the barrier of your community, the barrier of the people you are dealing with, that is the breakthrough. The breakthrough is when you realize there has to be more. There has to be more, because I live in a field of perfect plenitude, of possibilities and prosperity. It is said that I will prosper. So if it is said that you shall prosper, you do not surround yourself, nor do you accept the illusion that you have not. And that's exactly what the Christ did when Jesus, Yeshua was brought and confronted by Satan. To understand who you are, no matter what the illusions are being shown to you, you can know who you are and know that that's just an illusion. You got the real deal. You have the real deal. You have the real deal. There's nothing that you should be focusing on and dedicating your time and putting your energy into, except for becoming more aware with each step that the unfoldment of your higher self is that which allows you to constantly be in the communication, to constantly be at the frequency and the vibration that allows you to feel and know that the presence of God never leaves you, to know that with every breath you can be restored back into that place of knowing, to know that every step, every word out of your mouth can place you closer to that knowing, to affirm it on a moment by moment basis. To say good morning means you're not going to be mourning about anything, but that you are rising up into a great moment, into a great day, into a new beginning, into a new truth, into a new wholeness that is only found within the presence of God. That's it. It is only found within the presence of God. Too much, too often, we are being distracted. And so we must move forward. We must build ourselves and become more active, more consistent in communities, into places, into conversations, into daily life practice. Your daily life practice should be reflective. We do morning meditation and inspiration because we want to remind you how to start your day. You do them in the evening times. You begin to focus on the things and the visions and the wills and the purpose that was assigned to you by God. Not by those that are put on people who have forgotten that we are wonderfully made. We are wonderfully made, and we can move beyond. We can move beyond whatever the circumstance, the experience is. We can move beyond because we are in the wholeness of God. Redirect your focus. Reposition yourself. Honor more of your truth. Honor more of your wholeness. Honor more of your conclusion of how life begins to be. Experience God. Not the fake God. Not the fake God. Not the dispositions that are telling you that you need to limit yourself and put your light under a basket. Not the groups that are telling you that you should move from your somethingness to nothingness. Not the group that is telling you to wait when you're right here on the pinnacle of the mountain and you have all the tools you need to have. Not that. Absolutely, positively, so it is. Not that. So we honor more of the truth. We honor more of the wholeness. We design ourselves to trust more in the presence of God that is in us, around us, and working on our behalf. And then we embody that. And we take it out with us everywhere we go, reminding people and representing God to those who have forgotten, who have been misled in identity, and are recognizing that God is ever present. God never leaves. God is always here. That God is not conditional with its love. That the breath of life reminds us that right here, right now, where we are, God is. And in every moment before and after, God is. And when we release ourselves from this mental trap that tells us that there's understanding. It says, lean not into thine own understanding. So we do not need to worry about us fully understanding. We need to move from understanding to knowing and being, because that is the will, that is the purpose, that is the calling. That is the calling. That is the calling. So I invite you today to embark on a conversation today with God. I'm inviting you to place your focus, place your mind, place your heart before you and allow it to be a mirror that allows you to find that knowing again, that trust and that belief and that knowing that where we are right now in this present, right? Because sometimes we're rocking back and forth and we're not certain and we're trying to figure out, is this the right time? And we're taking steps back and then we take a step forward, we take a step back and then we take a step forward. But what divine God is saying for us is that if we could only trust and believe with consistency, if we could not hide our light under the basket and let someone take us from somethingness to nothingness, our lives will continue to unfold and unspan, as our meditative thought has already told us. The grace is present. The honor is present. The truth is present. The love is present. The wisdom is present. The opportunity is present. There is nothing that is being withheld from you. There's nothing that is not for you. All of the goodnesses, that is, all the promises are going to be fulfilled in your life if only you choose to see the somethingness that you are, that you come from somethingness. You are something. You are valued. You are the one. You are the one, because God has already made you to be one with God in his infinite wisdom, infinite beauty, infinite love, infinite prosperity, infinite abundance, infinite joy, infinite harmony. Yes, you. This is the power of our day. And when we come into this wholeness, into this oneness, into this truth that is only us, that can only be found when we accept this knowing. This is the revitalization of our mind. This is the renewance of our mind. This is the wholeness that we are seeking. This is the peace that we will have. Peace be still means that you have accepted peace, and so it can rest in your presence. And you can begin to embody it. You can begin to experience it. You can begin to become it, one with it, unified in wholeness and oneness with peace. So you're not waiting for someone to give you peace. You already have it. Anything you are seeking that you have been convinced by the physical world that you are missing it, that something is lacking. Now, are we always ever evolving, healing, and expanding and allowing ourselves to become forward in the truths and the knowings of God? Yes, there are things that we have experienced and accepted in our physical life that require us to surrender them, to transmute them with the infinite wisdom and unconditional love of God. It is not a judgment. It's not a judgment. It is not a judgment. It's not a punishment. It is a revealment more of your somethingness. It is a revealing of your somethingness. You got to get rid of the old to accept and have a place for the new. You got to believe that God, if you tell me you believe in God, then you cannot question when things, people, places are removed. Remember Job. Remember the story in the scriptures of Job. Lost everything. People turned their backs on him. But it wasn't until Job said, I don't care what happened, who goes, I'm not going to turn my face away from God. And prayed for those people who tried to convince him. And as a result, everything was restored, even bigger and greater than it was before. So I encourage you to ride into that frequency of that message, of this inspired word on today, that you are something and you can never be nothing, because there is something inside of you that is everything, that is all. So embrace it, walk in it, be it, and allow it to manifest more of the promises, more of the truth in your life. Thank you so much for being here on today. It is a pleasure for us to be here. We thank you. We are thankful and grateful for that word. Whew, that is it. Remembering that you are something. I'm hearing that song. I forget the I'm building something. Say that to yourself every day. I'm building something. Maybe we'll find it's by Corinne. We'll have it going. Again, if you are looking to be a part of our ministry, we are looking for musicians. We are looking for people to come and join our arts ministry. We are back open full time. As I told you, come January 1, we're going to be fully into the house. This is the house back behind us. And you can begin to be a part of this and come and join us and be a part. Let's fill the stage up. We're building, we're designing, we're creating, just for us to have a sacred space that we can magnify and increase the presence. If we all bring our presence of God to this space, can you imagine what it would do for our lives? What it would do for your community? What it would do for our country that is in need of this on today? Absolutely, positively, so it is. And so we begin to move forward into this wholeness, into the knowing. So welcome back. We're going to go over to our announcements for today. We want to make sure that everyone who is here, if you are in need of prayer, we do have a prayer list on today. Yes. And you are welcome to come and also submit your prayer requests to eternallifeglobal@gmail.com. eternallifeglobal@gmail.com. Remember, prayer is the unification with what you know is possible through the presence and spirit of God. Prayer is the affirmation, the confirmation that you believe of what is possible through the presence and the occupation of God within your life. The promises are there. So if you are praying for health, as we are praying right now for health for Brother Bobby Logan, who is undergoing surgery, we know that the presence of God is there and that it is well. All you need to do is rest in the presence of God, because right there with you in that hospital room is God. And God is relying on you to remember that the presence is presence. We also send out prayers to our Queen Mother Mary Claiborne. We're also praying for Brother Jabril on today to give him strength, clarity, and maximizing his hopes, dreams, and aspirations in the time that he is experiencing right now, knowing that he has to remember the presence of God. Remember the promises for your life, because whatever this challenge is that is weighing you down, just know that it is nothing, because you are something. To shine your light, to transmute it, to transfold it into something new, because that's what God's presence does when we invite it into our life. So with that, we know that right here, right now, God is moving on behalf of all those who are seeking to have another unified, collective confirmation and affirmation of their prayers, heard and unheard. We know that all that is here, all that there is God. Therefore, anything and everything that is causing us to have any type of confusion, any type of doubt, any type of worry, any type of uncertainty, we know that God is moving right now, actively restoring, reclaiming, and reproducing that which is necessary in your life, because you are something and God is everything. So nothing is hidden, nothing is missing. All is available. All is God. Amen. Shalom. And so it is. So it is. If you are wanting to move on to our donations, if you want to make a donation to our ministry, we would greatly appreciate it. You can do so by going over to paypal.me/choice-not-chance. You can Zelle us at 480-269-1038, or you can just email us over at Eternal Life Global, and we can get someone with you who can support you in doing the mobile money, or by doing Western Union as well. Thank you again for joining us here at Eternal Life Center for Spiritual Advancement, where we are only in service for God. Nothing else matters except being in service with God. and allowing ourselves to move into the wholeness, more of the example, more of the representing of God to the world, because that is what it takes. Until next time, continue peace and blessings. Know that God is ever present. Know that God is with you, that God does not deny you, because you cannot be denied by that which you are. Until next time, God's blessings be upon you.